Welcome to my latest Constant Contact tip. Today we're going to talk about adding emojis to subject lines. I'm Laura Poindexter with Queen Bee Creative, and I am at Laura Bee Creative across social media. So I'm in Constant Contact, and I've started an email. So I'm within the email. So if I go to subject line here and I click on it, you'll see you actually have the option here to add emojis. And when you click on that, you have some options, not a lot. But this is actually, I don't find that these necessarily render properly across platforms. So what I like to do is insert code. Now, I'm going to show you how to do that, and then we're going to talk about if you should use emojis or not in your subject line. So what I use is a website called emailstuff.org. And what we're going to do is I've already searched Honeybee because it's Queen Bee Creative. And I search that, and here it is. Now here it shows you what it looks like, and then it has a whole bunch of information for using this emoji in different types of code. So see this email subject or friendly from. So we're going to copy that. Now we're going to go paste that in our subject line, and make sure you include a space so that there's a space between the text and the subject line. Now, I like to put emojis at the front and the back if I have a short headline, subject line. And you see this pre-header text, which we say is like a second subject line. You do not want to put the emoji code in there because it does come across just as code. But in the subject line, it will come across as the emoji itself. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go to send a test. And I'm going to send a test to my email addresses, one on Gmail and one in Outlook. This is where you preview the email, but you can't preview the subject line. So you always have to send yourself a test. Now, if I go to my Outlook, then this email is right here. You see it? We've got a B and a B. Okay, we go to Gmail, and here we go. You see right here where you've got the B's on both sides. And the B's look different because each program renders the emojis different. So if you're interested in what the emojis are going to look like across platforms, depending on what you're using, you can go to emojipedia.org. Emojipedia is great because you can find out, you know, when the emoji was created, what it means, not necessarily what it means, but what it is. You can just copy and paste it here if you're just doing an email, but I like to use the code. So we'll go down here, and this will show you what it looks like across different platforms. So you've got what it's going to render like in Apple, in Google. We've already seen that, right? You can see it in my Gmail. In Microsoft, on Samsung, on Twitter. So now obviously if you're using it on social media, you're just going to copy and paste the emoji. You're not going to use the code. But this just shows you what it looks like across different platforms. Now, why do we want to use emojis? You want to stand out in the inbox, right? And if you look at a typical inbox, there's hardly any emojis. So with that in mind, with an appropriate emoji, I encourage you to test, always test. And in Constant Contact, you can test. I'm just going to choose this is my demo account, a test list. You'll see here, if you have Email Plus, you can do an A/B test. And what you can do is you can test an emoji and no emojis. Right? I wouldn't change, you're not going to change anything else about the email. You're not even going to change the subject line except for the emojis. We don't always have them in front and the back. It just depends on what I'm doing. With the A/B test in Constant Contact, you have the option of choosing what percentage of your list are part of the split test, and then what percentage get the rest. And then you have to choose how long they wait before the system chooses a winner. So if it's an urgent message, that's not when you want an A/B split test. But you can choose these options. So just keep in mind, if you choose 24 hours and I send the email today at 10 a.m., then the half of my list is not going to get it until tomorrow at 10 a.m. So that is how you can add a emoji to your email subject line without worrying about whether it's going to render across platforms. And I've been doing this using this emailstuff.org /glyph. I've been using this code in my emails for years. So I hope you find that helpful. And if you have any other questions, ask in the comments or find me on social media at Laura Be Creative, and I'd be happy to answer them. Have a great day.